continue with Kitzur. So we're on what is it? 51. So it's Siman 51. And now a big topic: general rules of Brocha Achrona. So blessing after food. And we have to see if number 6. Okay, so let's see. And it says, if one drinks a lot of beverage in small increments, such as tea or coffee, since he does not drink the requisite amount at one time, even though this is the way that people drink it, nevertheless, the small amount do not combine to be considered the act of drinking of Revi'is. And one does not recite the Brocha Achrona. So, just one sec. So let's quickly read the Mishnah Brura, and we're going to explain it all together. The Mishnah Brura comments that this is the major point of dispute between halachic authorities. Okay, so before we go into dispute, so let's first understand what Kitzur is saying. So Kitzur is saying that if you're going to drink whatever beverage is it in small increments, so small increments, it's like tea. So people usually people don't they drink tea the way they drink water. So the water, they take the big sips, especially if they're thirsty. So if you take a big sip of this water, for sure you have to say blessing, right? Some Revi'is, just to remind us, Revi'is, it's approximately 3.2 ounces minimum. Okay, so if you drank the 3.2 ounces, and in grams, if somebody going in grams, it's 86 0.5 or something. Let's say 87 grams. So it's not a lot. It's not a lot. So our sages say if you do it in a few sips, so I mean, which is very, very possible. So you would need to say the after blessing. If not, if you drink tea with a small sips, so of course you don't say the blessing, according to Kitzur. But of course it's not so simple. So let's see what Mishnah Brura says. Mishnah Brura comments that this is the major point of dispute between halachic authorities. But that common practice is not to recite Brocha Achrona. Okay, see also opinion of the previous note. He adds that the people who are scrupulous in their action allow the last review of hot drink to cool and then drink it without interruption, thus avoiding any question. He encourages to follow this practice, and that's what you do, right? So you leave, for example, if you're only going to drink, that's what you do. You leave this 3 ounces, 3.2 ounces, 86.5 grams, right, at the end. So let's say if you're drinking the hot beverage until it's cool enough, so you can drink in few sips. That's what you do. Or you're not obligated to do so. For example, if you ate something else, for which you need to say the after blessing, you ate apple, you did banana or something like that, right? Which is after blessing is Bore Nefashos, exactly the same after drink. So you don't have to go through this. But again, as Mishnah Brura says, it is a praiseworthy practice. You're not obligated to put yourself in that situation, right? So like if you like your coffee in the small drinks, and that's what you like, some people drink coffee in like 3 hours, 1 cup. Okay, so drink this cup in 3 hours. There is no problem. There is no pressure. Okay. But if you can, like, put yourself in a situation to say the blessing. Okay. Continue. So that's the drinks. I want to quickly say see what we say. Okay, no problem. So last before that we were talking about combination of half a kezayis of food, or this food or that food. Okay, that's what we were talking about. And we said about combining the foods and drinks. They do not combine. Drinks combine together, one with another. Food, I mean, to get to the minimum amount, but foods combine to one another, but food and drink do not combine. So meaning what? That in order to say the blessing, you have to eat kizayis of food or drink revis of liquid. Okay, one or another or both. Okay, next one, number 7. Any questions on what we said before we continue? Actually, it's very important about drinks. Anyone? Okay, so number 7. The land of Israel is praised with the 7 species, as it written in Dvarim 8:8. The land of wheat, barley, grape, fig, and pomegranate. The land of oil, olives, and honey. Following that, it is written in the verses 9 and 10, the land where you will eat bread without poverty. You will eat and you will be satisfied, and bless HaShem, etc. Since with regard to the bread, the Torah expresses the directive of you will eat and you will be satisfied, and bless HaShem, referring to Birchas HaMazon. Therefore, upon eating bread made from one of the 5 grains, which are the wheat, barley, which are explicit in a verse, as well as rye, oats, and spelt, which is also included in category of wheat and barley, Birchas HaMazon recited afterwards. Okay, so let's stop here. It's a lot of information, so let's try to understand what it says here, and we're going to explain. So the verse, first of all, the land of Israel is praised for 7 things. So even though when we discussed before, we say 5 species of mizonis, so actually here is a clear verse. It says verse mentioned only 2, wheat and barley. So 3 others actually our sages derived through the other ways. It's like it was from oral Torah. And again, when we say 5 fruits, 7 species that the land of Israel is blessed with, it's actually included these wheat and barley. So, and I always say it's 5 fruits. It's not 7 fruits, 5 fruits. Okay, so it's again it's grape, fig, pomegranate. All right, land of oil olives. So olives, but olives from which they produce oil, right? And honey. Okay. So honey is not honey like bee honey. Honey are dates, right? So that's also we should remember. Okay, and just continue with the verse. It says, land where you will eat bread without poverty, meaning that you're going to have a lot of bread. That's good, and you will eat and you will be satiated and bless Hashem. So that's a clear verse from the Torah, directly from the Torah about Birchas HaMazon. So you eat, you will be satisfied, satiated, and you're going to bless Hashem. And what you're going to eat, right? And what you're going to eat, this species, as we said, wheat and barley, and they added 3 more. Right. So that's why, therefore, when eating the bread from one of the 5 grains, which are wheat, barley, which are explicit in the verse, and as well as rye, so rye is very, very close to it, oats and spelt, okay, which are also included in the category of wheat and barley. So it's, I guess, they're from the family of the wheat. Okay, so comment is spelt is considered to be subspecies of wheat. Exactly, subspecies. Rye and oats are subspecies of barley. Here we go. So one more time. Spelt, subspecies of wheat. Rye and oats, subspecies of barley. Okay, no problem. So as we said, it's from the same family. Birchas HaMazon is recited after. So a person who ate bread from one of these 5 species of grain, bread, right? Bread meaning what? Meaning that it was, they actually grind it, make dough, and bake bread. So if somebody just eat roasted kernels, they would say chadama. It's not, or sometimes they wouldn't say shechakol if people don't usually eat this kind of food. Okay, if they cook, for sure they say Regrettably, because that's now how they eat it. Or in some cases, if they eat if they do oats, like cereal, like hot cereal, they would say mizoines. Okay. So all other, so meaning what, and it was questioned before, all other breads, all other breads that made from different flour are not actually halachically bread. So we say shechakol, and we said this rice bread is not actually bread. So you say shechakol, or we had example. Somebody asked about cornbread is also not real bread. I mean, it is bread. It's called bread, but it's not the bread that you say chamotzi on it. Okay, continue. Birchas Hamazon consists of 3 complete blessings. Okay. So I mean, we jump directly from this to Birchas Hamazon because it is a Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. It's very, very concise. Okay. Birchas Hamazon consists of 3 complete blessings, as well as blessing Hatov Hametiv, who is good and does good. That was instituted at the later time in Yavne. So basically, what we're trying to say here that there are 3 blessings. The first 3 blessings from Birchas Hamazon is actually biblical, right? And the fourth, this Hatov Hametiv, is actually it's rabbinical. The fourth, and the rest is like tradition. Of course, we say all of them, but in case of the need for whatever reason, so we know what we can skip. Not the end part, but I mean the end part, not the first 3. Okay. So commentaries say there is opposed to Ala Michia. So Ala Michia, we spoke before, is a blessing that we say after Mizoines, right? And we say it's a miniature Birchas Hamazon. So exactly the same blessings, but only in 1 sentence or 2 sentences. Okay. There is opposed to Ala Michia, which is abridgment of the 3 blessings. Okay. The 3 blessings are Birchas Chazan, the blessing to the one who nourishes. So that's the first blessing, which was formulated by Moshe Rabbeinu in gratitude for the manna, which HaShem sustained the Jewish people in the wilderness. So you can imagine, it's within the text. It was instituted by Moshe Rabbeinu himself. Moshe Rabbeinu said that's the prayer. Okay. So that's the first blessing. Second, Birchas HaOretz, the blessing for the land, beginning with Nodeh Lecho, we thank you, which was formulated by Yehoshua when the Jewish people entered Eretz Israel. So you see, all of the time periods. The second blessing was formulated. That was like 40 years after the first paragraph. So next one, Bnei Yerushalayim, builder of Yerushalayim, beginning of Rachem, right? Have mercy, which was formulated in stages by King David, and King Shlomo, and refers to Yerushalayim and the temple. So of course, in the days of David, it was on Yerushalayim, but there was no temple. So he started and Shlomo completed. So that's the third blessing. So 1 second, it was 22. Okay, so let me read the whole sentence again. Birchas Hamazon consists of 3 complete blessings. We just mentioned them and explained. As well, the blessing Hatov Hametiv, who is good and who does good. That was instituted in a later time in Yavne, 23. The blessing was composed in gratitude to HaShem from preserving the bodies of the victims of the Roman massacre in Beitar, and for eventually allowing them to be brought to the burial. So that's a big miracle when it's in a time of Bar Kokhba revolt, when it would looks like we were winning for some time, and then of course the Romans came, and Bar Kokhba, who Rabbi Akiva The Tzal thought even he was fooled, not fooled, but confused, that he thought that he's a Mashiach. Maybe he was a Mashiach initially, but some the pride went into his head, and he said, Hashem, look, we're doing good with these Romans. I mean, we're winning, so please don't. You're not obligated to help us, and then don't help them either. So that's not what you say to Hashem. Understand? And once he said it, that was his end, basically. Okay. So, and of course, the Romans won, as we know, right? And the massacre, many people, they say millions of people they killed. There was a river full of blood. They say even, I'm just telling how it says in our Gemara, that it was hard for the horses to move around the streets because there was so much blood, basically. And of course, these Romans did not allow the bodies to be buried as a lesson for all of the rebels for generations to come. That's our nice brothers, right? And they force us to build the fences around the vineyards, like from the bodies of these people, right? And the bodies stay preserved. They did not decompose for 3 years in the sun of Israel. Can you imagine? So after that, the Romans allow us to bury, and in honor of this miracle that Hashem actually allowed us to bury the body. It's not the Romans, of course, and for preserving the dignity of this body. So the sages in Yavne composed this fourth blessing. Very important. 23. Okay, continue. However, anything that is not considered actual bread, but the kinds of foods that Vishamizone's blessing is recited, made from these 5 species of grain, as well upon the grape mentioned in above verse, which refers to wine, as well the actual grapes which is moist or dry, large or small, and upon the figs and pomegranates and olives. Okay, so it's a long list, so let's try to understand. So bread is bread, and it should look like bread, and if it does not look like bread, but it has some bread attributes, so that we consider it to be, it's like in a bread family, if it was baked, right? So what is in bread family? It would be all of the cookies, all of the cakes, right, in the bread family. What is not in the bread family, for sure, it's like something that was cooked in the water, like pasta, right, for sure, or ravioli, all of these things that were like, for sure it's not bread. Okay. So for all of the breads, doesn't matter how they look like, we say Birchas Hamazon if a person ate a lot, but if he or she ate the cookies or the cakes, it's actually from these 5 species. So mizoines, again, it's only from these 5 species, and it's very good. People get confused sometimes on Pesach, because on Pesach there are two types of baking, right? One is baking from matzah meal, so they take matzah and grind it and then bake again. There is no problem, since it was never chometz. So after the matzah cannot become chometz. That's the rule is. Not everybody agree, but that's a different story. So once it's matzah, so you can grind it and make flour again, and that's what we do, and then you can bake your cake, or the second type of cake they do from the starch. So we do from potato starch, and from outside, of course experts can say, but can tell the difference. But me personally, very often I would not tell the difference, especially when you go to the store from these commercial bakeries that these professionals. They do such a good job, you would not tell the difference between like flour, like baked goods from regular flour, like chometz, and this potato starch. So right, but for all of these potato starch things, or something that right. So we say shechakol. If cookies were made from rice flour, also shechakol. So mizones is only from these 5 species of grain. One second. Okay, we already said that. Okay, continue. Okay, so in this alamihia, this even though the Kitzur calls us alamihia, the name in our Siddur, I mean everywhere it's Me'am Shalosh, but this name alamihia they use interchangeably. So alamihia is only for mizoines, but Me'am Shalosh it's a 3-part blessing. Okay, so somebody ate this mizoines, right? Or upon grape. So, and when Torah say grapes, it's actually grape wine, right? Because it's grape wine is more important than the grapes themselves. Or they say the actual grapes, right? It's also included. Okay, and they say large or small. And very interesting. So when I read a large or small, I would say, why would you say that? What is the difference does it make, large or small? And commentaries say, of course, beloved Mishnah Brura tell us, as long as they're fully ripe. So if something is not ripe, we don't say Bora Prichoyetz, right? We say Shechakol. So if it's edible, if it's like it's not there yet, I mean it's still edible, but a little sour or something. So you say Shechakol, but if it's inedible. Like I remember when we were little, we'll eat like from on the street, had these trees, and we would like eat everything inedible. Like if it's a little not green, so we try to eat it. Of course, we had the stomach aches and all of this stuff. So on this day and on these things, you don't say blessing at all, because it's not considered to be food. Okay, that's why he said large or small, meaning that it was developed. Or upon figs, pomegranates, and olives. So there's another 3. And upon dates. So now we have 5. Which honey referred by the Torah in the above verse. Just give me 1 second, I will finish. Above verse, because honey flows from them. So and if you see sometimes they put this picture on the internet, this from Israel, this these dates, and you see the drops, like real drops of honey. It's unbelievable. Upon eating all this, we recite Brocha Achrona, right? So Brocha, which is called Me'am Shalosh. Here we go, Me'am Shalosh blessing. So this 3-part blessing, the blessing includes concise version of 3 blessings, meaning Birchas Hamazon, but in concise, very concise. As well as a blessing Hatov Hametiv of Birchas Hamazon. So it's 3 like for biblical blessings, and 1 is rabbinical. So last commentary, and you ask the question. So Mishnah Brura 20850, who explained how each of the blessing is represented in Me'am Shalosh blessing. Okay. I mean, it's once he explains, it's very clear. The connection idea is exactly the same. Okay, question. Go ahead, please. Somebody want to ask the question? Okay, I thought that's.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, what is there any? I thought rye, barley, and oats are for Kan Hamazon, right? Now, based on what I heard you say, I got a muffled message. Is there something different about rye that we?
One second. When you say these oats, when we make bread out of it, correct? That's what you mean?
Yeah, or let's say if you eat rye, but you eat a certain quantity, and it's not in the form of bread, maybe crackers, but you eat a whole pack.
Rice or rice crackers? You say?
No, rye.
Right. Okay, right. Yes, yeah.
Rye, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So rye is one of the 5 species for sure.
Okay, I was just double checking. I thought that's what you said. Yeah.
No, it's one of the 5 species for sure. Of course. As we said, it is spelt is considered a subspecies of wheat, right? And rye and oats subspecies of barley. So even so, I mean, in the Torah it says wheat and barley, right? Wheat and barley, but all other three is actually from the same family. So rye, for sure, it's one of the ingredients, for sure. I mean, one of the mizoines. So
Thank you, Rabbi.
you're welcome. I don't think I saw ever like rye cookies. Maybe do crackers. It's like a healthy food or something, right? It's a good start. Bread for sure. That's yeah. We do this rye bread, of course, but rye nobody like even in a recipe says rye. It's not never pure rye, never. It's too heavy. It's too heavy, so it's usually mixed with wheat and rye. Maybe I don't know, maybe 30%, maybe half, like maximum. Right, and they usually add barley, so it's almost always a mix, unless you have like pure wheat bread. Okay. Any other questions before we continue? So we cover Birchas Hamazon, right? We cover all of the bread, all of the like at least 7 species, and we draw a parallel how this Me'am Shalosh blessing that you say after. After this mizoines of the cakes and cookies, after you say the drinking wine, grape juice, or after you eat this pomegranates, olives, and grapes, and he's even mentioned small grapes or large, very interesting, right? Because it must be developed. If they're not developed, as we explained, it's a different blessing. Okay. Any other question, or we continue? Okay, no problem. We continue. So number 8, it says in this CF, Kitzur sets out the 3 variations of Me'am Shalosh blessing and various combinations thereof. Okay, so let's start. When reciting Me'am Shalosh blessing, after eating grain products, one opens. So before we continue, like just to make sure that we know what we are talking about, I want to tell you where this Me'am Shalosh in our Siddur, just in case. Of course, everybody knows, but maybe somebody on recording do not know. Just 1 second. It's in 1 second, looking. Siman. Very interesting. So let me try to find Me'am Shalosh blessing. It's a little different Siddur actually. 1 second. Okay, all right. So in this Siddur, in ArtScroll Siddur, it's actually page 201. Okay, so it's a blessing after other foods. The 3-faced blessing. Okay, no problem. So page 200, easy to remember. So let's see. When reciting Me'am Shalosh blessing, after eating grain products, one opens the blessing with "Bless you, HaShem, our God, King of the universe, who for the nourishment and the sustenance," and concludes with a phrase, "And we thank you for the land and for the nourishment. Bless you, HaShem, for the land." Okay. So, and of course, in this blessing, you insert all other things. And bless you, HaShem, for land, for nourishment, and for sustenance. Okay. Upon drinking wine, one begins the blessing with the words for wine and from the fruit of the vine. So, actually, if you look at now Siddur, it's like the first line is the same for all of the blessing. Then it says after products of the nourishment, meaning the mizoines, you say this. Right, for the nourishment. right? And for the sustenance. Okay. So if person drank wine and says, let's say person ate cake and drank wine, so it says and for the wine and the fruit of the wine. Okay. So if person, let's say, ate also, I don't know, figs, so he also said and for the tree and for the fruit of the tree. So if you ate, drank all three of them, so you said all three of them in the same blessing. We don't say separate blessings for all of these things. Always the same blessing, or like a combination of maybe you only drank wine, so you say only for the wine and the fruit of the wine. That's it, and then you continue, and then just follow the commentary, and you just include whatever you ate or drank. Nothing else. So, but if you ate, like let's say, mizonis and grapes, so you say for mizonis and for grapes, one blessing. Don't say two blessings. Continue. So, condition. Thank you. Okay. Bless you, HaShem, for the land and the fruit of the wine. Okay. Right, and commentators say, and after the drinking wine, he concludes with the words, "Val chaperos," and for the fruit, he has fulfilled his obligation. So, I mean, if he by mistake he said for the fruit, meaning this wine is also fruit, it's if person make mistake. So after the fact, that's also good. Upon eating fruit of the 7 species, including grapes, one begins the blessing with for the tree and the fruit of the tree. So that's the language, and concludes with a and we thank you for the land and for the fruit. I mean, I would say unless you know it by heart, you can maybe you have in the Sidur in the phone, or what I suggest, maybe take a photocopy of this, put it in your wallet for men. So like, if you put it in double cover, you can go, even if it's in your wallet, you can go to the restroom. Even with that, there is no problem, because it's in your wallet, it's one cover, and then it's in your pants, it's a second cover. So technically, you can go to the restroom. Some people put it in a plastic bag, so just to make sure. Okay, or have it on your phone, or remember, but it must be with you everywhere. So if somebody's like in the office or work, so just make a copy, have a siddur there, do whatever you need to do. Okay, because I mean it's a longer blessing, so it's I mean it's not hard to remember, but you have to start somewhere. So continue. Bless are you, HaShem, for the land and from the fruit. Okay, we said in Eretz Israel, or even in the diaspora, if one ate the fruit of Eretz Israel, he should lend for the land and its fruit. And it's actually now Siddur also, it says, because it's this fruits from the Eretz Israel is very, very important. So, I mean, after the fact, if you did not say its fruit, no problem. You don't have to repeat, but proper to say it. So it says, if one, so commentators say, if one is eating fruit of 7 species that grew in Eretz Israel, or for example in the diaspora, but you know that the fruits were imported from Eretz Israel. So commentators say this is in order to praise HaShem for having given us the land and has produced these fruits. See Mishnah Brura 253. If one is unsure whether the fruit grew in Eretz Israel or not, he should conclude with the words "and for the fruit." So regular wording, if you're not sure. So, but if you live in diaspora, most likely it's not. I mean, they're not going to bring from Eretz Israel. Maybe in Europe, I guess that's my guess. But in the States, very, very rarely you would see like products from Israel, because it's from all other places much cheaper. Okay. If one ate grain products and also drank wine, he should include both of them in the blessing. As we mentioned before, you just read from the Siddur, you say the word and there's no problem. So you ate cookies or you ate cake and you drank wine. So you said for the mizonis and for the wine. Commentary. As will be explained further, the Kitzur below is 7714. Oh, it's far ahead. Which states that when one drinks wine and eats mizonis, upon which one recites Ala Mihia blessing, he is required to drink at least reviews of wine, so as to include the wine in Ala Mihia blessing. Okay, so that's a very interesting point, and we're going to explain, as we said before today. So in order to say the blessing, after blessing, you have to eat enough. So what is enough? We say it's kizayis, 1 ounce, 28 grams approximately, or if it's a beverage, you drink revis. So, for example, if a person ate kizayis of cake but drank wine in small increments, so he would say that after blessing only for cake, but no, not for wine. Okay. So commentaries say, okay, continue with commentary. Igras Moshe Orach Chaim, paragraph 109. However, writes that it is proper but not required to add words for the wine if he drank less than kizayas of wine together with mizonis. I don't want to confuse anybody, but just to explain what it says here. So according to the second opinion, I don't think we go by this opinion. I don't think so. But there is the opinion in Shulchan Aruch that it says that Shiur, this minimum amount for liquids, actually the same as amount for salads, meaning what? There is actually an ounce, right? Not 3.2 ounces as we said, but actually 1 ounce. Okay, so Reb Moshe Zatzal said that it is proper, even though there is no obligation, but if person remember, and the words for the wine, if he drank less than kizayis of wine together with mizonis. Okay, so if they were together, so it's not the extra blessing, just extra words, but not obligated. If one ate in addition to mizonis more than kizayis of wine and less of revi, since there is a halakhic doubt as to the obligation of Brocha Achrona for the wine, he is required to add the words wine, words for the wine into the Brocha Achrona for mizonis. Okay, I mean it sounds very complicated, but it's not. Okay, so if person ate cookies and drank wine, so Reb Moshe Zatzal said even if he drank less than 1 ounce, so it's a little, so let him add like the blessing on the wine, since he is going to say the blessing after the cookies anyway, right? But if he drank more than 1 ounce, right, more than 1 ounce, and even less than 3.2 ounces, right? In this case, you obligated. Because why? Because there is such, as we said in Shulchan Aruch, there's a strong opinion to do that in any case. So, and since there is no special blessing, no separate blessing, you just adding this blessing to mizonis, so no problem. That's what we should do. So again, if you just drink wine by itself, you must drink 3.2 ounces. In order to say the after blessing. If you ate cookies and you drank wine, so if you say drank less than 1 ounce of wine, right, less than 1 ounce, so they say preferably to add the blessing for wine, but not necessary. If you drank more than revi'i, right, then you obligated to more than revi'i, more than 1 ounce, but less than 3.2 ounce, so you should. Right, you should add, but if you drink 3.2 ounces, you must say the blessing. And if you forgot to say it, so according to some opinions, you have to go back. You have to go back and actually For mizon, 1 second. For the wine, do we go back? Wine is also satiate. So let's continue reading. Maybe like after the fact you don't have to go back. But okay. So, but you obligated to say the blessing upon the wine if you for sure you drank 3.2 ounces in these two sips. So for sure that's what we should do. When we do Friday night Kiddush, I mean holiday Kiddush. So it's proper. It's not like, even though it says that even if you drank half of this amount, right, 1.6 ounce or 1.7 ounce, right, so you drank majority of the Revi, after the fact there is no problem. But it's proper if you go, like if you want to do this mitzvah according to all of the opinions, it's proper to drink the whole Revi's. Okay, but not obligatory again. In combining the various phrases within the blessing, he should first say the phrase for the nourishment, and then send to the wine, and then for the tree. So I mean, exactly is in our siddur that's a standard. So first you say for the nourishments, meaning for mizones, then for the wine. So we were going by the sequence of importance. So mizones is very important because it's like bread, because that's the reason. Not always, but let's say if it's from bread family, then wine, and then all other fruits. And then the fruit of the tree, commentary. If one ate 2 or 3 categories, only 2 of the 3 categories, he should recite the appropriate 2 in the order that they are set out here. So meaning, if person drank wine and ate, let's say, figs, so he said the blessing on the wine and on the figs. So that's not on the figs, not of the fruit of the tree, and then on the wine. That's not proper. So we go in the right order always. Continue. When one includes the phrase for the nourishments together with one of the phrases for the other types of food, he should not say "and for the sustenance" and at the conclusion of the blessing, as he does when recite the blessing for a grain product only. Rather, he should say, 1 second. That's what we do. 1 second. Commentary. According to Mishnah Brura, the words "and for the sustenance" never recited in conclusion of the blessing. Okay, so that's not what we do. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you. Maybe we skip this part. 1 second. 1 second. Rather, he should say, "Bless you, HaShem, for the land and for the nourishment and the fruit of the wine." Exactly. Or for the land of the nourishment and the fruit of the land. Okay. Or for the land, meaning right, for the nourishment, meaning for cookies, and for the fruit of the wine, right, and for fruit, meaning he ate mizones, drank wine, and ate fruits. So commentary says, if one omits vel pricha gefen for the fruit of the wine, he does not need to repeat the blessing. Mishnah Brura, exactly as we said. So I had some doubts, but doubts because actually the wine, like after the fact, is satiates person, right? Is nourishes because it have a lot of calories and stuff like that. So after the fact, so this blessing upon the mizones actually covers the wine after the fact. The text of the blessing is already printed in Sidurim, prayer books, okay? And every Jewish person should be proficient in the blessing and be able to recite it by heart. So as we said, recite it by heart. So, but before a person, like, it's proper, I would say before, like, if you don't have like such a strong memory, try to write it down. There is nothing wrong to write it down and read it from the piece of paper. There is no problem whatsoever. Right? Just make that piece of paper is everywhere. So until you remember correctly. Because some people, they memorize quickly, and then they make mistakes, and it's not proper. So it's better to read from the paper than they make mistakes. Okay. Any questions on what we said?
Rabbi, I have a question.
Please.
Okay, it's my understanding that the opinion of Shulchan Aruch says that we should only pray with the dirt in front of our face. So is that only applicable to like a prayer outside of Brocha, or
I apologize.
how does that apply?
Apologize. I missed one word. So you said that the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch said that we should pray. What was the word?
We should only pray with our face in the siddur.
No. Okay, go ahead. I mean, the prayer is one second. No, 1 second. The prayer is in the siddur. That's what he said. If you remember by heart, there is no problem. Most of the kids remember by heart. But if somebody like about Shiur, somebody in the process of conversion, so a person does not know, it's like new to him. So that's what I said. Just write down, make a photocopy or something. So until you remember 100% correctly. So you're not obligated to say it from siddur. You understand?
What about the part where when I was in the class, you said that one should be looking at his siddur and not looking up and looking around the room so that he may look concentrated.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you. You have a good memory, Baruch HaShem. HaShem bless you. So we said actually that's obligation when during the Shmona Esrei, when you say Shmona Esrei, so you should not look around. And some people, and you would see like they put their hands in a pocket and they look at the ceiling. That's not proper. That's not proper. So Shulchan Aruch said, look at the siddur. Try to concentrate on the words. And these Hebrew letters, they have a special holiness in them. You understand? Just even if a person does not understand this, does not understand the word, just look at the letters. It's enough holiness. So try to concentrate. Just look at this here. That's what we say. And we say even during the repetition of Shmona Esrei. So you finish your Shmona Esrei. The Chazan goes Chazoras Hashatz. He goes he repeats like it's almost nothing for you, but it's proper to follow the Chazan. Or at least look at at the text. Okay, that's what he said. Very good. Yes.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Good question. Thank you. Good memory, Baruch HaShem. Any other questions on any topic? Because I think we stop here. Okay. Thank you very much, and good night until tomorrow then. Thank you.